She's going to tell us some things we should never tell AI. Let's hear what she's got to say, and then I'll give my thoughts on the back end. Let's keep going.
I have spent a number of years telling employees to assume every email, every text message, every social media post, recording, and more could become an exhibit at trial. Be careful what you put in writing. I never imagined I'd have to add ChatGPT to the list, but here we are. So I'll just tell you, the bottom line is that you should assume everything you write could someday become evidence. Technology changes, but the rule of law does not. A federal judge recently issued a decision. I'm going to share what happened. A man was under federal criminal investigation and used an AI chatbot, in this case it was Claude, to help organize information and prepare documents that he intended to share with his lawyer. Now, he prepared the documents, but his lawyer didn't know he was doing that. His lawyer certainly didn't tell him to use the chatbot to prepare the documents. And the person included information that he got from his lawyer and asked Claude how he should respond. He discussed legal strategy with Claude. Claude shared its comments, told him what, he suggested, or it suggested. Now, when the FBI executed a search warrant at Hepner's home, they seized his electronic devices, which included all that information that he shared with Claude. And of course, they wanted to be able to use it at trial. I mean, that's
one of the crazy things about what she's saying. I did a video recently. It was talking about how you can't be afraid of AI to the point that you don't use it, but you can't be 100% fully sold on AI. You should use AI. Definitely don't get that twisted. But this is the reason why you have to be careful. There's so many different ways I need to go with this, but let me just slow this down. So let me tell this story of something which was so interesting, which I was reminded of when she started talking. So I remember when we was young, right? Most people do this in one way, shape, or form. We used to MC, right? We used to write bars, as we used to say, right? We'd write lyrics, whatever. And when I was growing up in the UK, grime was the big thing, right? So we were all grime artists, we were all MCs, right? Spitting that little 8 bars or 16 bars or whatever, right? Now, I remember hearing this story about this guy. He was an MC, like many of us were. He had been arrested, and they decided to use some of his lyrics as like a character witness against him. And I remember hearing that and thinking to myself, wait, what? That's mad. And I was thinking to myself, I remember speaking to my friend, I was like, but how do they do that? That doesn't make sense. And I started thinking to myself, well, some of the things I used to say in lyrics, because in my mind, it's just lyrics. I wasn't really going to go and do some of the stuff I was saying. It was just fun music, right? Wrong. In my other channels, I'll be like, nope, it wasn't, guys. It was something which you don't have to say anything, but if you do, it may be used against you in a court of law, right? That was lyrics. Even recently, I heard of a similar story. Someone was saying some stuff in their lyrics, and it was used against them. So when this lawyer professional, she's like, well, look, AI agents, guys, he's taking what his legal team is saying, and he's trying to run up like different computations, different scenarios. What should I say? And that can be viewed as very disingenuous. That could be looked at someone who's trying to fake a case, trying to put on a persona, which they've got a subpoena, they've got in a restaurant, they've seized all of his documentation, and they're like, okay, this is what he's doing. So they're going to make that case and say, look, this is someone who's trying to game the system. The other thing I wanted to say as well was this. I say this to so many different people, right? You should just live your life as if everybody, or as if someone's watching all the time. You know why? Because someone always is. God can always see you. And you know what's so great about that? It helps you to be the same wherever you are. It helps you not say something behind someone's back that you wouldn't be willing and bold enough to say to their face. it helps you to be like, well, look, if my secret conversations with someone were all of a sudden leaked to the public, someone would be able to listen to it and be like, yeah, that's Israel. That's who he is. Why? Because he stands 10 toes down on the things he stands 10 toes down on wherever he is. So I'm not going to be saying one thing in public and then saying some completely different thing in private, right? I want to have that alignment across the board. And that's what we need to be mindful of, because if you're not, this is when this sort of stuff can happen. Let's keep going and see what she has to say next.
That's golden. Now, of course, the prosecutors were, gung-ho. It's like, you have no privilege. We are entitled to these documents. And Hefner's attorneys argued, no, these documents are protected by attorney-client privilege. And at first glance, you would absolutely think that's a no-brainer. Of course. When people come see me just for legal representation and I don't represent them yet, they're coming to me to seek advice, find out whether they have a case, they are automatically protected by the attorney-client privilege. Mm-hmm. So why not in this case? What was the problem with this case? Well, the judge said, no attorney-client privilege attaches. And why is that? Well, first, the judge said, you know what? He's not communicating with his attorney. And you know what? That's a really great point. Sometimes I have people...
AI is not real, guys. So don't be calling AI him and her and saying thank you to AI as if AI is a real person.
Copy me on emails. I don't know anything about what's going on, but they'll copy me on it because they want my name on it as an attorney, and thinking, that's sufficient to have to get the attorney-client privilege. But anyway, the judge said, no, you're not talking to your attorney in this case. You're talking with Claude. You're communicating with an AI platform. And according to the court, once you voluntarily share information with a third party, you may lose attorney-client privilege. And that is absolutely true.
It's like, think about it like this, guys. AI, for example, it's like writing in your journal or just keeping logs or keeping a notebook. When you get a warrant, when they get a warrant to come and arrest you and to search your house, they're going to go over to the journals and they're going to read the journals. Why? Because they think there's something that could potentially be useful there. They're obviously not going to go to the lawyer and say, oh, tell me what you know, lawyer, because they know about attorney-client privilege. Claude is a program that you're supposed to use to help you get stuff done faster. And the stuff that you're putting in there, it should be stuff that you're not afraid for other people to see. Just in simple terms.
The judge said, Claude is a third party. Claude is not your attorney. It's somebody that has nothing to do with this case. And
it would have been better for him to go live on a YouTube channel and get lawyers, for example, or something to debate his case. Do like a mock trial. That would have been better for him than to do this.
That's very true. When I am communicating with a client and sometimes they want to bring a friend in, I say no, because you lose attorney-client privilege in that case. Now, that's sometimes I will, if there's a mediation and they want to bring a family member in and I'm not concerned about any information that we're sharing because we're going to be sharing it with the other side anyway, then that's okay. But if there's something between you and your lawyer that you want to keep private, then you need to leave any other party out of it. And
see, did you hear what she said? If there's something which they're not concerned about the other people knowing, she doesn't mind bringing like a friend or someone alongside because it's not that important. But if it's something which is secret, significantly secret, they don't want the other side to be able to get access to it. There can be nobody here other than you and me, because I'm not obliged. I'm not legally able to start spilling this stuff out. And you are likely not going to say this stuff unless she's coached him in a way to present it in the best way possible. So think about AI in the same way. Don't be going to tell AI all your deep, dark secrets because you're telling someone who it's not yours. It's connected to the internet. There's a company behind it who's storing all of this stuff in their data fields. So they know everything that you're doing. Best believe that. So you really just think about it.
And apparently that includes AI chatbots. Think about that. People treat ChatGPT like it's their therapist, their lawyer, their diary, their best friend. The law doesn't necessarily see it that way. So the judge ended up showing that none of the requirements for privilege or attorney work product to attach actually applied in this case. Namely, he wasn't talking to his attorney. He was not working at the behest of his attorney. He was having a conversation with somebody, namely Claude, not party to the litigation. So none of the requirements applied. It's an interesting decision. This is a developing area of law. Nothing is ever as cut and dry as it seems. But the thing you can take away from this case is, it's dangerous to be talking too much to AI chatbots.
So take it from a professional lawyer. Don't treat AI like a human, surprise, surprise, because AI is not a human, guys. Use AI in the ways in which you need to become more efficient, to use it to help you make more money and to make more time for you. But don't use it as a therapist. Don't use it as these different scenarios, because you never know how it can potentially come back to bite you in the future. Only use it in a way in which you're not afraid of what you're using it to be broadcast to the public in one way, shape or form, because all it needs to take is one little data leak, and your information is all out there, and then people will see what kind of person you really are. And my goal is always to be so much aligned that what I'm behind closed doors matches very well to what I am in front to everyone. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, don't forget to react righteously. God bless.